as an audiophile-grade headphone, the Vokyl Erupt still has a lot to prove. Although I am reserving my judgment until I can test other earpads, I must confess the Erupt does not sound anything like what Vokyl promised. It is a stark contrast to what the reviewers proclaimed and what Vokyl wrote in their website and on Indiegogo. This seems to be a consensus. I have not gauged the temperature of the room. That is, I do not know how people are reacting to this. Are they upset with Vokyl? Do they even care? Do they offer excuses for Vocyl's failure? Are the undelivered promises just par for the hype course? Maybe people who have the Erupt can comment in the video comment section and tell me how they perceive the headphones and how they feel about the end result. In this video, however, we are going to talk about the other major feature of the Erupt. The Erupt is a gaming headset, which means its microphone must be tested and evaluated. I am currently recording this voiceover using the Electro Voice RE27, which is plugged into my Golden Age Pre-73 Mark II, which is itself plugged into my Zoom H6, connected to my PC running Adobe Audition. I have my presets enabled. For the microphone test on the Vokyl Erupt, I will use the stock microphone cable. This cable will be plugged into the Sound Blaster X G6. I will record the audio without presets, and the only alterations I will make is to the gain. I will repeat the test using the Sennheiser GSP-600. I will also test the noise cancellation features both on the Vokyl Erupt and on the GSP-600. I have now switched to the Vokyl Erupt microphone and am using the Studio-Quality microphone. Vokyl says on their Indiegogo page that they designed two separate microphones that the user can toggle on the fly. The first microphone is a unidirectional noise-canceling mic. The second microphone is an omnidirectional and, according to Vokyl, quote, the best choice for studio-quality chat. Vokyl says they used an industry-respected microphone manufacturer to build their microphones. The microphones are in the same housing. The omnidirectional microphone is near the front. The noise-canceling mic is right next to it. There is a toggle switch to select between the two types of mics. I am currently using the front microphone, the omnidirectional mic. This mic, keep in mind, is supposed to offer, quote, studio-quality voice rendition. I could not find any information who made the microphones for Vokyl, nor is there any clear information whether Vokyl designed the microphones from scratch, took an existing design and made changes, or simply licensed someone else's work. I have now switched to the unidirectional microphone, the one with noise cancellation. There should be a popping noise as I adjust it between the two settings. To my ears, there is indeed a difference in sound between the two microphones. I hear the noise cancellation at work. Vokyl does not say what type of noise cancellation is being used. Their concept photos suggest that the noise cancellation is achieved through a much finer mesh screen in front of the mic capsule. It appears that neither microphone has any type of damping or suspension system to mitigate vibrations. I have now switched to the GSP-600. This headset has a fixed microphone that activates when you pull it down from its vertical position. When the 600 was released, reviewers commented that its microphone was good, or at least better than competitors. The 600 also has a microphone with built-in noise cancellation. Sennheiser says their microphone is, quote, broadcast quality. The 600's method of muting the mic is to flip it up into its vertical position. The Erupt has a small, cheap plastic box on its cable. You can toggle between mute and unmute there. The placement of the microphone boom arm is very limited on the GSP-600. You can move the microphone capsule section a little, but the boom arm is unbendable. The Erupt has a fully movable boom arm. At first glance, this may sound like a good thing, but I really don't think so. You might have noticed that the GSP-600 sounds louder. I have not changed the gain on the 600. I have not altered the gain on the Erupt recording. What you hear is how these two microphones perform without alterations. The boom arm on the Erupt is pretty flimsy. It is thin. It is prone to flopping around if you turn your head quickly. In fact, if you shake your head back and forth, that movement will transmit vibrations to the boom arm. Here, I'll give it a shot. Finding the correct position on the arm might be a hassle as well. In order to control plosives, you will need to keep the microphone far enough away from your mouth so that the puff of air does not hit the microphone directly. But you need to keep the microphone close enough to pick up your voice. Certainly, this is more customizable on the Erupt than on the GSP-600, but you will need to fiddle around until you get the correct spot. Moreover, if you do not want the microphone constantly in your face, then you will either need to push it away or you will need to switch to the other cable. Either will result in having to reposition the microphone the next time you want to use it. Whether this is a big problem or not depends on you. We are now going to test the noise reduction features. I will play office noise background off of YouTube. This will play at maximum volume from my phone's speakers. I will keep the phone directly in front of me and 2 feet away. The phone will be at an approximately 35-degree angle from each of the microphones. The noise will play in 3, 2, 1. This is the noise playing. Now let's talk about this headphone with the broadcast quality microphone, which is the one that is activated right now. I have been trying to figure out if Vokyl provided any notice that they were going to change the earpads mid-campaign. I came across an Indiegogo update they posted in 2019, after the select reviewers had already presented their conclusions for the headphones. It was evident that Vokyl decided to change the pads to something different. As far as I know, nobody was given a chance to withdraw their funding. No other reviewers were given a chance to compare the differences between the original Erupt and the Erupt with the new earpads. I will now switch to the noise-canceling microphone. It is unfortunate that this post was written only once, and never addressed again. To be honest, I do not recall reading the post when it first came out. The Indiegogo page never stated in the marketing material that the earpads had been altered. Vocyl's website did not and still does not say that the original pads were ditched for cheaper pads. I will concede, however, that Vokyl claims they tried to tune the headphones back to their original sound signature. Clearly, based upon many user reviews and expectations, this was not done successfully. This is now the conclusion of the noise-canceling microphone test on the Vokyl Erupt. I will now test the GSP-600's noise-canceling microphone, which Sennheiser claims is broadcast quality. There is no on-off switch for the noise cancellation. The microphone is by design a noise-canceling microphone. The noise will start in 3, 2, 1. As I stated, the GSP-600 has a noise-canceling microphone. I am playing the office noise off of my cell phone at maximum volume. You will need to judge whether the noise cancellation on the GSP-600 is superior or inferior to the Erupt. One thing I will point out is that the boom arm on the GSP-600 is far more stable as I talk and move my head. Here, I will move my head now. The boom arm on the Erupt shakes, and it takes several moments for that shaking to come to a full stop, and I believe that some of the vibrations will transmit to the boom arm and also to the microphone capsules themselves. This is the conclusion of the GSP-600's noise cancellation microphone test in 3, 2, 1. We have now switched back to the Erupt's Studio-Quality microphone. Anyone considering buying another microphone to use with the Erupt will have some problems to deal with. First, the headphone is wired in a particular way, which means that even if you are able to find a dual-sided cable with a microphone boom arm, you will need to make sure that the cable is compatible with the Erupt's peculiar wiring. Second, if you decide to use a wireless microphone, you are merely adding to the clutter. Perhaps you fancy using something like the Mod Mic Wireless. If you do not already have it, then that is another $100 purchase on top of the price you paid for the Erupt. If you already have a wireless microphone, then that begs the question why you would want to spend money on this particular headphone when other audiophile headphones exist for similar or cheaper prices. At this point, you have had enough time to judge whether the Erupt microphones are as you were led to believe during the Indiegogo campaign. In my experience, the Erupt's microphones are better than typical gaming headphones, but these are still a far cry from a proper microphone, even a USB microphone. Indeed, I think you would have more versatility and better dynamics with something like the Rode NT USB or the Fifine K669.